read Romans 12:3 through 8, but for now, let's read Romans 12:3. So, because of the privilege and authority God has given me, I give each of you this warning. I don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given us. So, that's not saying that you're overconfident about who you are and what you do. It's not saying don't think highly of some abilities. It's saying be realistic. Because I know many times our perspective of ourselves is somewhat distorted. I think some of you would agree with that. I know my perspective of myself would be distorted greatly on a lot of different things. Either I think I'm really good at something and I'm actually terrible, or I'm the exact opposite. I'm actually pretty good at something, but because I'm so hard on myself that I think I'm not very good at it. What I ask you guys to do while we're talking about this is just the verse to get us into it. Really think about that and think, okay, who am I really? What am I really good at? What are the things I'm good at? What am I bad at? Just really look at yourself and be realistic about that. Sound good? Think we can do that? Cool. So, let's move on. Romans 12:4 through 6. Just as our bodies have many parts, and each part has a special function, so it is with Christ's body. We are many parts of one body, and we all belong to each other. So, what is that saying? That's saying we're the body of Christ, right? As a body has many functions, as a foot cannot do what a hand does, the body of Christ, the foot cannot do what the hand does. Each one of us has a specific and given role, and not a specific and given purpose that God has equipped us for. He's given us tools, He's given us strengths, He's given us desires and passions to be that part of the body. So every aspect of the body, even the smallest thing, matters. So somebody was telling me a story that there's a tendon, I can't remember what it's called. It's just some small, teeny tiny tendon right here in the calf. It's right there. If you looked at it in an X-ray, it would look like nothing. It would look like fat. It would just be super gross and it would look stupid. It's teeny tiny. It looks like nothing, okay? Even that teeny tiny thing though, if it was not there, if it was cut, or if its function was hindered whatsoever, the rest of the foot could not function, could not move. The bone could not move because the muscle was not attached to it. It should be gone. So the littlest piece of the body could make the biggest difference. Same thing with the body of Christ. Each one of your purposes matters. It's a big part of it. It is what you're called to do, is why you're here. It's what makes you important. If that purpose is not sought out and done right, it could hinder the body of Christ. It could lower the max capacity, max potential of the body. So, how do we find our purpose? So I have some notes and some pins over here, if we could pass them out real quick. How do we find our purpose? That's what we're going to be talking about today. How do we find our purpose in the body of Christ? Well, to find our purpose, we have to talk about our passion and our strength. Passions and strength. Passion plus strength equals purpose. Okay, passion plus strength equals purpose. So, once those are all passed out, I'll give you guys instructions on what to do next. Is it super hot to anybody? I'm up here sweating. Oh my god, I shouldn't have played volleyball. That was a bad idea. Satan's trying to stop us right now, but we're going to keep going. Heat doesn't bother us.
You want a bottle of water?
Does everyone have a pen?
Yes, please. That'd be perfect.
No.
We're good? Look at that efficiency.
I want to make y'all do some math. I know. Scary, right? It's summertime. You guys have to do math.
Okay.
I don't think I could either. That's why you guys are doing it. You guys ready? Everybody got one? Anybody need anything? No? We good? Okay, so passion plus strength equals purpose. So the first thing I want you guys to write down is passion, and then put equal sign next to it. Passion equals. Okay, passion equals what keeps you up at night. Passion equals what keeps you up at night. So I want you to put a equal sign next to that, and then we're going to talk about that some more. So what keeps you up at night? What does that mean? That doesn't mean like I have a test in the morning, so I'm a little nervous. That's not what that means. What it means is there some kind of like, is there something going on in the world that really affects you? Like maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's something close to your heart. So for example, people around the world that don't have food, that don't have enough food, don't have fresh water, does that really keep you up at night? You're like, man, I wish I could do something about that. I wish I could be a part of that and help with that. Maybe it's people in your town who don't have a place to stay, don't have food to eat. Maybe that's it. Like they're home. They're my home. I should be here. I want to help them. I want to be a part of that. Maybe it's a friend who's going through anxiety, who's struggling with something in their life. Maybe they want to do something, make a bad decision in their life, and it keeps you up at night. You're like, man, I just really wish I could help them. I wish I could be a part of that. Maybe it's a parent doesn't even know Christ. Maybe it's a friend doesn't know Christ, and it hurts you on the inside that they don't know the love that Christ gives us. They don't know the passion, the compassion, and the people around you that love Christ. Maybe that's what the thing is. Just kind of like a little nudge right there in the gut. You just almost makes you want to throw up sometimes. Just fix it. Whatever that is. So I want you guys to answer that. So what is it that keeps you up at night? What is that thing that is picking at you, that's driving at you, that you're like, man, I got to fix it. I got to be part of the solution. I can't sit here and keep adding to it. I can't sit here and let this happen. So what is it? What is that thing that keeps you up at night? So, you guys can keep writing if you're still working on it. It's not a big deal. But next, we're going to move on to strength. So below passion, in the middle of the card, leave room for the bottom. In the middle of the card, put strength. Strength equals, just like we did for passion. Put strength equals. Okay? And this one, strength equals what you think you're good at. Strength equals what you think you're good at. Or what I am good at. You can just say that. What I am good at. Or what I'm good at equals. However you want to write it, you get the point. You get the gist. Okay? So, what are you going to get? What are you good at? After you do that equal sign, what are you good at? I'm compassionate. I'm a compassionate person. I'm good at being compassionate. I'm good at connecting to people on an intimate level. I'm good at sports. I'm good at being creative. I'm good at art. I'm good at music. I'm good at... I'm funny. You're a humorous person. Maybe it's leading people. Maybe you're a leader. Maybe you're good at encouraging. We're going to read from Romans 12:6. In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously, and if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. We have given these strengths. God has equipped us with these tools so we can put them in our features. We can use them for our purpose. Because God has set a purpose before each and every one of us, and we're equipped with the tools. So what is it? What is that strength? What are you good at? You guys already look like you wrote it down. Like, I knocked it out. I don't need to keep talking. I already get it. Good. So, now, we're going to go back to the formula for how to figure out purpose. Ready? You guys can write this down if you want. You don't have to. Passion plus strength equals your purpose. So the thing you wrote earlier plus the thing you just wrote equals your purpose. So what does that look like? It's kind of tough. Sometimes it's tough for people to put it into perspective. So I'll give you an example of me. My passion was for people who were suffering, people who were struggling. I went through a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. I went through some really tough times. And because of that, when I finally came out on the other side, I really hated when people would struggle, when they would hurt. I wanted to help them. I wanted to be there for them. I wanted to bring them out of those holes that they dug for themselves. That's what I was passionate about. It would keep me up at night when I knew I had a person or a friend or a family friend or family that would be struggling. That's what kept me up at night. It was that was what I was passionate for. But my strength was being able to connect to people on an intimate level, be able to connect relationship-wise, talk to them, be able to get to what they needed. I mean, I loved talking to people and really getting to know them, not just surface-level talk, but really asking them, like, what are your biggest fears? What thing makes you happy? I loved doing that. I was good at it. People like telling me. So that was my strength. And when I put those two together, my purpose became, it was to find people who were suffering and to lead them to a place of peace. That was my purpose. Find them who are suffering, talk them through trials and errors, and lead them to a place of peace. So what is yours? How can you put those together? It's not easy, it's tough. But if you can figure that out, and of course, you guys are going to get to take these home. You can work on them more if you want, add more strength, add more passion, formulate it all. Think about past experiences even, whatever it is. Come up with that purpose. So, I have a buddy I'll give you another example. His passion was bringing his best. He loved excellence. He's kind of like a stickler for it, like it was gross how stickler he was for it. Like if this was supposed to be straight and it was like that, he would get furious. Like, he's super passionate, right? Like beyond passionate. It was like, bro, chill out. He would love it. That was his passion, though. That's what he felt like God had given him, was to be passionate about that. But his strength was just being aware of those things. He'd be able to call those things out when I would never see it. Never. Most people wouldn't see it, but he could. That was his strength. So when he put them together, it was helping people see those and make things excellent. That was his job, and that's what he does now for a living. He does that well. He does it really good. People really appreciate him for it because he's doing what God has called him to do. He's doing what he's made for. He's doing his purpose. So what does that look like to do your purpose? What are your next steps? So if you have your purpose, if you thought about it, where do you go to get plugged in at? Mine was going to church and getting plugged in there. There's a lot of suffering people that go to church. Why do they go to church? Because they're suffering. So I was going. That's where I was. I was put in a place, and I was able to lead through that. And when I did that, I met a guy named Noah. I'll tell you a story about him. This is how me doing my purpose was lived out. This happened just like last week. So this guy Noah, he'd been at a party the night before Sunday. He'd been at a party Saturday night, and that morning he decided to come to church. He'd driven by it a few times, and he said, "You know what? I see the people waving at us sometimes. I thought I'd go out there." Comes in, he loves it so much, and he ends up leaving. I get to talk to him. He's like, "Man, this was awesome. This was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I could come. I'm really going through a hard time." And I'm kind of like, "Okay, what's going on?" I was like, "You know what?" He couldn't tell me then, but we brought him to a life group, a small group pretty much, and he was with me and a bunch of the people. And we got to ask and talk to him, and he turns out he is about 20 years old, and he has a child on the way. He's made some rough decisions, and there's a child on the way, and the child's mom up and left about 4 months before the baby was born. It's about 2 months in. The baby's going to be born in 2 more months, and he can't find her. Can't find her anymore. She won't contact him. And he's really suffering. He wants to be a part of the kid's life. He knows what he's supposed to do. He's manning up. He's doing the right thing. So I brought him to this small group, and he's telling us this, and because my goal was to bring him from this suffering place to a place where he could just get some kind of peace, some kind of relief. Because I felt bad for him, and he kept wanting to fall back to his ways because that was the only relief he knew. He only knew his best friend who was a drug dealer. That's all he knew. So he kept wanting to go back there, and I was like, "No, come on. We got to go back to this group. Come on, just stick it out. Let's do it. Let's just be there." And he came, and this is how good God is, because this is what it looks like when you do your purpose. When he came, he found a guy named Dwayne. Dwayne's about 30 years old, 35. 10 years ago, he was in the exact same place as Noah, and now he doesn't ever get to see his daughter because he made the mistakes and didn't do the things he was supposed to then. Noah is just now reaching the point where he has to do a few things, but he's not. So meeting up with Dwayne, he is able to do the things that's needed now so he can see his daughter. God is working like that. So how do you use your purpose? What is your purpose for? What is your purpose going to help somebody? How are you going to do it and show them God's love? Or maybe build somebody who already knows God. Help somebody who's struggling with faith. What is it? Whatever it is. I just ask you guys to go out there and look for it. Get that person. If you don't think of it now, think of it later. Write it down at the bottom of the card, whatever it is. Where do you get that purpose? What is it for, and how are you going to use it? You get plugged into a place that you can live it out, whatever that may be. So, let's go over it again, right before we finish. God has a purpose for you, right? Giving you a purpose, whatever that may be. Your passion plus strength equals...
Purpose.
There we go, right there. Come on. We are all a crucial part of the body of Christ, because we have that purpose. If we don't live out our purpose, the body doesn't work as effectively, right? Imagine if that person was a runner that didn't have that tendon. They can't do that. They're completely impaired. They're done. It's game over. You can't keep running if you don't have that tendon. So imagine if the body of Christ was just to meet that person. What if it was just to meet Noah and I wasn't there at that time? I'm sure God is great, so he will do what he needs to do to meet them, but he uses us. He's put us there for those reasons. So, put your purpose to use. I want to thank you guys for letting me come out here. We're going to pray it out, okay?